evil slime. Back to the past. The world was young and new, and time was spinning fast. The grass was green and the sky was blue. Back to the past.
Steph, where are you?
Over here!
It's getting awfully dark. Let's go explore over there.
We shouldn't play in the woods when it's dark, Elliot. We have to get home for dinner.
Come on, Stephanie. We have lots of time. Come over here. Look at this hole. Wow, it's like a big crater.
I wonder what's down there.
Hey, I think I hear something. Come over. Listen.
What is it? I don't know, Elliot. I think we should go home.
Steph, give me your flashlight.
No way, Elliot. Let's go.
You're such a baby. Give me that flashlight.
Give that back. It's mine.
Oh, yeah. Try taking it from me.
I can tickle you till you let go.
Oh, stop it. Stop, I said stop. Look out, whoa.
Say uncle.
Never. Stop, let go of me. We're gonna fall in. It's slippery.
Oh, no, you don't. Give me my flashlight.
Steph, whoa, look out.
Oh, no, Elliot, I can't get up. Help me. The hole's pulling me in.
Steph, grab a hold of my hand. Hurry before. Oh, no, I can't hold anymore. Oh, we're going down. Help! We're falling.
Ouch.
Oh, gross.
It's so muddy and slimy here. Where are we?
Look, over there. Stephanie, no way. It's dinosaurs.
They're marching. Wow, this is totally cool.
This is awesome. We fell down that big hole, and we must have landed in prehistoric time. Check it out, Steph. We're back in the past.
Look at the size of those trees. They're gigantic. And over there, volcanoes.
Wait till I tell everyone at school. No one's gonna believe.
Elliot, look! They're in the sky. What is it? Oh no, it's coming toward us.
All right. It's one of those dinosaur birds, Steph. Here it comes. I think it's a pterodactyl.
No, I'm not. I'm Archaeopteryx. Archie for short. But what kind of creatures are you? I've never seen anything like you. No feathers, no spikes, no scales. You sure are strange looking. Where did you come from?
Same planet, different time. My name is Elliot, and this is my sister Stephanie. We're born way after you dinosaurs disappeared.
Oh, don't be silly. How could we ever disappear? We're the kings of the universe.
Mr. Archie, we're in big trouble. Our mom is going to ground us for life if we don't get home in time for dinner. We're back in the past and we need to return to the future.
You seem like very nice little whatever you are. I'll help you. We'll just go hunting for the king. He'll know what to do. Why don't you hop on my back and we'll fly back to the beginning of time and on until we find the king.
Totally cool. Hop on, Steph. We're going back to the beginning of time.
With no seatbelts.
We'll be flying through the sky so fast and high. We'll be flying through the sky so fast and high. We'll be flying through the skies. We'll be flying through the skies. Climb aboard, hold on tight and see us fly. We'll be flying through the sky so fast and high. We'll be flying through the sky so fast and high. We'll be flying through the skies. We'll be flying through the skies. Back in time, up we go. Say goodbye, goodbye.
Look down there at the Earth. It's only water.
That's right. When the Earth first started, it was only rock. Very flat, with a few big holes here and there.
I guess when all this rain fell, the holes filled up, and that's how they became oceans.
I don't know what you are, but your species sure is smart. That's just what happened. And at the beginning, there was no life. But after a few more million years...
Look, there are things moving down there. Let's go down and look at them.
That was close. I almost landed in that gross pool of water. Ew, gross! What is that creepy, slimy fish? Ew, it's walking right out of the water. It's coming closer. Ew!
That's a good friend of mine. Hi there, Seymoria.
Archie, where have you been keeping yourself? I haven't seen you flying around here lately. And what are those peculiar-looking creatures on your back? Never saw anything like them before.
We look funny. I don't even know who or what you are. You look like your mother was a fish and your father was a snake.
Well, it's pretty confusing. My Uncle Seymour is the family historian. Just listen to him tell the story.
First we were fish just living in the sea. Never saw the sunshine, oh no, not we. Got so curious to explore the land. We grew stubborn things to walk on the sand. I said, gather round, snails, squids for a while. We'll roam the earth, become crocodiles. We'll fish no more, we know how to breathe, so we live on land. It's easy to me. Amphibians, yeah, amphibians. We hang on the beach and wait for the tide. We crawl, we slither, we even glide. Some of us can run once we get started. We might be cold-blooded, but we are warm-hearted. Amphibians, yeah, amphibians. Yeah, amphibians. Yeah, amphibians.
Hey, Seymoura, are you an amphibian?
No, my friend. I'm better than that. I'm a whole new thing that they never had before. A little amphibian and a whole lot reptile.
Ew, reptiles! Like snakes and frogs. Ew, they're so disgusting. I can't believe I'm talking to a reptile.
Crawly, creepy snakes, things that live in lakes, cracks that look like locks, things that eat the frogs. Reptiles big, reptiles small, reptiles glide, reptiles crawl. Reptiles in the zoo. What do reptiles do? Reptiles roam far from home. Reptiles sleep in the deep. Reptiles big, reptiles small, reptiles glide, reptiles crawl.
There are lots of reptiles here in Dinosaur Land. In fact... Oh, look! Here comes a big parade. I almost forgot. Today is National Small Dinosaur Day.
Finally, something I actually like. A parade. Look at all those little dinosaurs.
Give 3 cheers for the small dinosaurs.
Coelosaurus!
Come Sognathus.
Geophasis!
Be sure that you do not forget.
Ornithomylosaurus!
And the lightweight Raptorosaurus.
Proud
Avi for short. Hi, Avi. Come and meet my new friends.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. You certainly are strange-looking creatures. No feathers or scales.
Ovi, can you guide these two to the king? I just remembered Mrs. Archie sent me out to bring home something for dinner. She'll be so angry with me if I'm late. So I just have to run along. I need to fly along. Maybe I'll catch up with you later. But for now, good luck. Bye.
Why don't you just follow the parade? We're walking over to the swampland. I know you have to cross it to get to the king. So now, let's go. March along. Left, right.
Give 3 cheers for the
Come on, Steph. We better follow the parade. The tiny dinos will lead us to the king.
Wow, I didn't know there were so many small dinosaurs. They even sing.
Pentaceratops have more fun because they all know how to run. Flying reptiles should beware whenever Ornitholestes comes near. Coelophyses are very fierce. Their teeth are sharp and they can pierce. Raptor are not lowly, even though they move so slowly. Hypsilophodon are among the smallest, but they climb trees, even the tallest. But the smallest dinosaur of all, Protagonithus, is less than 2 feet tall. Give 3 cheers for the Aliosaurus, ancestors of the great Dinosaurs.
There's a huge swamp up ahead. Wow, it's full of slimy, gooey mud, Steph. This is great.
Sorry to leave you now, you funny creatures, but I can't swim. There are thousands of dinosaurs in the swamp. I know you'll meet some friendly ones who will help you find the king. Goodbye, then good luck.
Later, Ovi. Thanks. Hey, Steph, what's that? Look out! It's coming at us!
You are such a baby, Elliot. It's only a duck. You know, Elliot, a duck as in quack, quack.
What a silly thing to say. Of course I don't go quack, quack. I'm a trachodon. You can call me Tracky for short. And I don't know why you two weird-looking things are giggling. What's so funny?
With feet like that, you ought to be. Actually, you look like your mother was a frog and your father was an alligator.
I never heard of a frog or an alligator or a duck. But it's true. My family is called the duck-billed dinosaurs. We love to wade through the swamps and dig in the mud for underwater plants. And it's a good thing for you. We don't eat meat because I have over 1,600 teeth in my mouth.
I'm glad I'm not your dentist. Listen, Mr. Trachodon, we have to get across the swamp. We're looking for your king, and we think he's on the other side. Would you please give us a lift?
Be glad to oblige. Just climb up on my back. And no matter what kind of giants you see along the way, you have nothing to worry about. All the swamp dinosaurs are plant eaters. And even if they ate meat, I don't think you would tempt them. I hate to say it, but you two aren't very appetizing looking.
I don't know what's worse, facing a bunch of prehistoric monsters or facing Mom when we get back.
Just hold on tight, and it won't take long for us to get across the swamp.
Elliot, that's the same sound we heard before.
Oh, that's the big dinosaurs eating. They simply have to eat all day long just to keep themselves alive.
Maybe we can be a little late.
Chomp, 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 chomp. We are the creatures of the swamp. Chomp, 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 chomp. Leaves and plants are what we want. We're so happy in our swamp. All day long we chomp, chomp, chomp. We are the biggest in the land. We're so big we can hardly stand.
You're close. It's a Pentaceratops. He's so big, the ground thunders when he walks over it.
Man, he's the biggest thing I ever saw. Wow, look at him. He's bigger than 2 school buses. He's kind of geeky looking, though, with that long neck but wimpy little head. His mouth is so tiny. How can he eat enough to fill that gigantic body?
A Pentasaurus, a Pentasaurus. I am awesome, big and handsome. Even though I can't run, jump and skip and have fun, I must state I am great. I'm a giant, quite reliant, eating plants. I enchant with my neck so skinny and my feet so finny. I must state I am great. A Pentasaurus, a Pentasaurus, glad to be awesome me. Hold my head up proudly, chew my plants so loudly. I must state I am great.
Now that we have crossed the swamp, I have to be on my way. We're having a family reunion at my place. Would you like to come? We have some delicious swamp plants for dinner.
Speaking of dinner, we're dead meat if we don't get home.
Oh, then it's time for me to say goodbye. I see some Stegosaurus dinosaurs off in the distance. They look very fierce, but they are really kind. I'm sure they'll help you find the king.
Steph, check out those spikes.
Hi there. We're the Stegosaurus sisters. We're twins. I'm Bunny Steggy.
And I'm Honey Steggy. You must be those new creatures Archie told us to take care of. Welcome to the neighborhood of the horns, armor, and plates dinosaurs. You're just in time for a beauty contest. You can be the judges.
I think I would be a very good judge.
I don't want to hurt your feelings, but we humans don't think 10-ton lizards with nostrils the size of bowling balls are beautiful.
Oh my! And I was feeling so sorry for you poor things who don't have even one tiny little spike. Oh, look, here comes Bert Motosaurus. He's always the master of ceremonies.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the annual Horns, Armor, and Spikes Beauty Pageant. And today, we have the most exciting, glamorous contestants waiting for your vote. Let's all give them a big hand. And the first contestant is Holocanthus. Hello, Polly. Hello, Polly. Aren't you a beauty with your 14 shiny spikes sticking out of your sides? And what a tail. Spikes all along it. Now, let's hear your song, Polly.
I went to the dinosaur fair. All of my friends were there. The Hydrosaurids with all of their kids were combing their curly hair. You ought to have seen the crowd dancing and singing out loud. The Pteranodon sneezed and fell on his knees that day at the dinosaur fair. Oh.
Give the little lady a big hand. And now we have Pentaceratops, the only dinosaur with 5 horns on his face. Let's hear it now. Hooray for Penty!
Having 5 horns on your face is pretty cool, but we really do have to find the king.
Are you sure you want to see the king? You know, he's a meat eater. Doesn't scare us too much because he'd break his teeth on our tough hide. But anyway, all of us plant eaters avoid him.
We have to find him. He's probably the only one who knows the way home.
It's quite a distance. Maybe I can get you a ride. Sure you don't want to see the rest of the beauty contest? There are a lot more of us horned dinosaurs to see.
Horned dinosaurs are great, but I think I'd rather see my mom and dad, even if we are grounded for the rest of our lives.
I think I've seen all the dinos I ever need to see. Being back in the past was really fun, but I want to stay in the future.
I kind of miss being at home.
Me too. Elliot, look! It looks like a giant anteater.
Anteater? No way! That thing is huge. It's more like an army tank.
You've got his name all wrong. It's not an army tank. It's Ankylosaurus.
He seems pretty friendly. He's like a giant turtle.
He can't move very fast, but if you can climb up on his back in between the spikes, you'll be quite safe. His tail is tipped with a big bony club. One swing could smash an enemy's legs. He's slow, but steady. He'll take you over to where the king lives.
Just be careful you don't sit on one of my spikes. That wouldn't be too comfortable. It shouldn't be too hard to find the king. Today, being our big holiday, he's probably at the Meat Eaters rally down there at the bottom of the hill.
What's a meat eater's rally? I'd love a hamburger or a steak.
Don't really know what kind of varmints hamburgers and steaks are, but just listen to the Meat Eaters singing. You'll get the idea.
A tisket, a tasket, a lovely piece of brisket. The only thing we like to eat, these mouthfuls of delicious meat. We bite it, we chew it, we love each tender tidbit. The only thing we like to eat is mouthfuls of delicious meat. Some like it sweet, but we repeat, for us to make our lives complete, to have the thing we love to eat is mouthfuls of delicious meat.
They sound sort of cute. They don't sound mean at all.
Yeah, right. That's really cute, Steph.
I chase my prey all night and day. I'm fierce and strong. I'm never wrong. Far and near, it's me they fear. I love to eat. I love my meat. With teeth I bite, with claws I fight. When they see me come, the others run! I'm the king of the dinosaurs. The king of the dinosaurs. The king of the dinosaurs.
Well, there he is. The one you wanted to meet, Tyrannosaurus Rex.
He sure is powerful looking with that big head. And just look at those long, curvy teeth.
The better to eat things with. But you don't have to worry about that. You're from another time. He won't be interested in eating you.
I smell the blood of an alien. He's probably rough. His meat is tough. Eating him would be no fun.
I'm so glad, Mr. Rex. I mean, Mr. Tyrannus. Mr. Your Highness King. Humans taste terrible.
Besides, there's no ketchup in Dinosaur Land.
Be quiet, Elliot.
I wouldn't think of eating you two little bony creatures. But I wouldn't mind keeping the both of you from my pet crocodile. He just loves screaming, wiggling little children.
Let's get out of here. Run!
Steph, look over there. It's a huge bunch of clouds.
It looks like a giant spinning top. Ah! It's a big twister. It's coming at us.
I can't see. Where are you, you two little vermin!
Steph, hold my hand. It's a tornado. We either have to jump into it or stay here and let the king eat us. Ready, set, go!
Come back here! I am the king! You don't leave until I say so! How dare you! Come back here! Where are you going?
Whoa! Where are we going now? I can't see anything. Help!
Ouch! Ellie, you're on my foot! Get up!
Elliot, Stephanie, time for dinner.
We made it, Steph.
Look at you two. Where on earth have you been? You're filthy. You look like you've been rolling around in a swamp.
It's a long story, Mom.
I'm sure it is. Now you two get inside and march right up to the bathtub.
What's for dinner, Mom?
How about some nice, juicy steaks?
I think I'd rather just have plants. I mean vegetables.
Me too.
Back from the past, it really was a blast. We'd like to go again. Back to the past. Back to the past.
Rock and Roll Raptor. The crowd went wild. Another hit concert by the Rock and Roll Raptor, the most popular singer in the country. More! 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 Screamed the audience. And then a hush fell over the crowd as Robbie the Raptor broke into the strains of his favorite song.
Brachiosaurus, and I don't know many things, like how the sun stays in the sky or why a pterodactyl sings. But when I look into the future, it makes me so upset. I see a lot of scary things that haven't happened yet, like earthquakes, meteor showers, or a polar axis tilt. Volcanoes and wildfires that cause my heart to melt. Because we're born to be extinct. Born to be extinct. It doesn't matter what you think, we're all born to be extinct.
Hurry up, Robbie,
said Ankylosaurus, his manager, after the concert.
We're due to make an appearance on a talk show. Hustle your spikes and let's get moving.
That's the way it always is these days, said Robbie wistfully. Hurry, hurry, rush, rush. Seems like I never have any time to think anymore.
It's not so tough to be famous and rich. Look at all the toys you have.
Robbie did have a lot of toys. He had a car and a mountain bike and electric trains and Nintendo and rollerblades. In fact, he could buy anything he wanted. So why did he feel so unhappy? Robbie thought about it all that night. He thought about it all the next day. Finally, he went to his wise old uncle, Tyrone Tyrannosaurus, for advice. I always wanted to be famous, Robbie said, but I didn't know it would be like this. I dream at night about wandering wild and free, the way I did before I became famous. I don't know what to do about it.
It's up to you,
said Uncle Ty.
You can always go away. You don't have to be famous. You're the only one who can decide how to live your life.
The next week, a shocked world heard a startling news announcement. We interrupt this program for a newsflash. Robbie, the rock and roll Raptor, the most popular singer in the world, has disappeared. He did not turn up for his concert last night, and there is no sign of him at his house. Police suspect it may be a kidnapping. The FBI has assigned 100 agents to the case, but as yet there are no clues. 2 days later, there was more news. This station has received a cassette tape from Robbie, the rock and roll Raptor, who disappeared 2 days ago. He has asked us to play it over the air. So let's all listen. This is Robbie with a message for all my fans worldwide. I'm not sure I want to be a famous rock singer anymore. I want to run through the hills and woods. I want to look at the sky. I want to pick flowers. I want to sleep under the stars. So I'm not going to sing for you anymore. Please don't miss me too much. A great wave of sorrow swept over the world. No more Robbie. It was hard to believe. The president broadcast a message to Robbie. Robbie, please come back. Your nation needs you. Robbie's mother sent a message to her son. Now, Robbie, you're not a child anymore. I think you have a responsibility to your fans. The entire New York Mets baseball team went on TV with a message to Robbie. You are our inspiration, they said. Robbie, come back. We need your music if we are to hit home runs. Only Uncle Tyrone, who knew where Robbie was living, spoke differently. It's your life, Robbie. You're in charge. You decide what you want to do. One morning, 2 weeks later, Robbie woke up in his cabin in the woods, feeling funny. It was so quiet. He went outdoors and wandered around. It was so lonely. He closed his eyes, and in his imagination, he could hear the cheering and the clapping. He could see the bright lights and the happy faces of the audience, and most of all, the music, his very own music. And he knew what he really wanted to do. Vacations in the woods were fine for a short while, but he was Robbie, the rock and roll Raptor, and singing was his life. We interrupt this program with a happy announcement. Robbie, the rock and roll Raptor, has returned from his retirement. Here he is now, getting out of the helicopter. Do you have a few words for us, Robbie? I'm so happy to be back. I really learned something. Vacations are fine, but what I am is a singing Raptor, and that's just exactly what I want to be. I'll never stop singing for you. And Robbie, the rock and roll Raptor, never again complained about his busy life as the most popular singer in the world. The Brachiosaurus.
Extra, extra, read all about it! Baby Brachiosaurus hatches at Oakdale Elementary School! Scientists are stunned! Extra, extra!
I don't believe it! A baby Brachiosaurus here today? It's amazing!
I wonder how it all happened.
It all began in a quiet little town called Oakdale. One sunny day, two children, Maria and Jason, were in the park playing kick the soccer ball. Little did they know that this would be the day that they would make one of the most important discoveries of their lives.
Maria, the ball is out of bounds. You kicked it way into the woods. I'll go in and try to find it.
I'm sorry. Guess I don't know my own strength. I'll help you look, Jason.
I wonder where that soccer ball went to. Nope, not here. Maybe it went behind those trees.
Look, over there by the pond, in that cave. I see something white and round.
Come on, let's go get it.
Gee, this isn't a soccer ball. It looks like a big egg.
How weird. I wonder where it came from.
Feel it. It feels icy cold. Maybe the mother lives in this cave. Do you think she's hiding any place?
I don't see any nests. There's nothing else in the cave.
Hold it up to your ear, Jason. It's making noise.
Wow, it's heavy. Listen, it sounds like my stomach when I'm hungry.
I think we should bring it to Mr. Lindbergh, our science teacher.
Do you think it could be a chicken or a goose or a turkey?
I don't think those eggs are this big. I'm going to put my sweatshirt around it to keep it warm. Let's go.
Hi, Mr. Lindbergh. Maria and I found something in the park yesterday, and we'd like to show it to you.
How strange that is. It looks like an oversized egg.
We didn't see a nest, so we thought that you would know how to take care of it.
This is an awfully big egg. It doesn't look like any egg I've seen before. Unless it's an ostrich egg. But I don't think so. Where did you find it?
It was in a cave by the pond in Oakdale Park.
I'll use my stethoscope to see if we can hear a heartbeat. Listen.
Wow, that's the coolest sound. It sounds like a drummer for a band. What do you think is in there?
I would guess some sort of reptile. Reptiles such as snakes, lizards, and salamanders all lay shelled eggs. I have a feeling that this egg is going to hatch very soon. The best we can do is wait and see.
I can't wait to see what comes out.
Let's place the egg in this empty aquarium and keep the warm light on it overnight. I'll put some water here and some leaves in case it hatches and is hungry.
Thanks, Mr. Lindbergh.
That night, while everyone was sleeping, the egg began to hatch. Out popped the cutest little baby animal. It was the size of a lunchbox. This baby was certainly odd-looking. He looked sort of like a cross between a baby giraffe and a lizard. Long, long neck, short body, and long, long front legs. But this was no giraffe. No spots, and his skin was made of thick, slimy scales. He had big green eyes and a purplish-gray body. It could only be one thing, a dinosaur, a little Brachiosaurus. He moved his long neck about, sniffing around, looking for food and water. The baby seemed to be thirsty. He couldn't walk very well at this time, so he wobbled over to the water and took a refreshing first sip. Then he held his long neck straight up in the air and sniffed for some food. His eyes were barely open, but his powerful sense of smell led him to the delicious pile of green leaves that Mr. Lindbergh left. He gobbled them up so quickly that he decided to take a nap. The next morning, when the children came to school, they rushed to Mr. Lindbergh's room to see what had happened.
Oh my gosh! Mr. Lindbergh, quick, come see! The egg is hatched, and there's a purple something sleeping there.
It looks like one of those dinosaurs I've seen in books, except this one is a baby dinosaur.
Well, I'll be. You're right, Maria. It's a miracle, a positive miracle. I bet that egg is laid in that cave for millions and millions of years. It probably rolled forward, and when the sun warmed it up, it started hatching. This will make Oakdale famous. I'm going to call the newspapers, the TV. In fact, I'm going to call the president. I wonder what his number is.
But Mr. Lindbergh, what kind of dinosaur is it?
Judging by this little baby's appearance, I would say he's a sauropod, because he has 5 toes. But he's kind of special. Unlike other sauropods, his back legs are shorter than his front legs. Notice his long neck and shorter tail. And see here, the top of his head has a ridge. It's a Brachiosaurus, children. Why don't you two stay here and watch over our newly hatched Brachie?
Can you believe it? A Brachiosaurus, right here in Oakdale. This is wild. I thought that all the dinosaurs died millions and millions of years ago.
They did, but somehow this one made it. Jason, look, I think he's waking up.
Do you think he'll bite us?
No, silly. He doesn't have any teeth yet.
Jason and Maria bent over the aquarium to get a closer look at the baby Brachie. He stretched his neck up and up and up and rolled around, stretching all his limbs.
Wow, look how long his neck is. He's got a funny shaped head, too. It's pointy at the top.
Just then, the Brachie looked right at Jason, blinked his eyes twice, and then... Would you believe? Kissed him right on the nose.
Ha ha! Jason just got kissed by a dinosaur.
With that, he planted another wet kiss right on Maria's forehead.
You got it, too. And look, he left big slimy lip marks right in your head. Ha ha!
Now that we know our Brachiosaurus is our friend, I think we should name him.
Let's call him Bruno.
That's a great name. Bruno the Brachiosaurus.
I think it really should be Baby Bruno the Kissing Brachiosaurus.
Jason and Maria took turns taking care of the baby Bruno. Since he was a vegetarian, they fed him lots of leafy vegetables. They also kept the baby pool filled with water at all times because Bruno loved to splash and play in the water. Bruno grew very quickly and even learned how to talk.
Hi there.
Bruno even went to school with the other kids. Of course, his favorite subjects were gym class and recess. He just loved playing soccer. He was the greatest goalie the kids ever saw. He could bounce any ball off his snout and catch it with his tail and wing it across the field again. Because Bruno was growing so fast and getting so very big, he sometimes didn't realize just how big and strong he really was.
Uh-oh, it looks like Bruno just busted mean old Mrs. Murphy's window. We're gonna get into a lot of trouble.
I better go over there and tell her what I did.
Oh no, Bruno, I'm scared. Mrs. Murphy is very, very mean. Maybe you shouldn't tell her at all.
Right, Bruno. It was only an accident, and you didn't do it on purpose.
But I thought you were supposed to always tell the truth. That's what you and Maria have always taught me.
I know, you're right. It's just that I don't want you to get into trouble.
Why would I get into so much trouble? It was an accident. I'll tell Mrs. Murphy I'm sorry. Maybe I can help her fix her window.
I'm just afraid that people won't like you if you've done something wrong.
All I know is that if I tell the truth, I'll feel better about myself.
Okay, Bruno, you're right. Jason and I will go with you when you go to see Mrs. Murphy. I have to warn you, though, she's very mean.
Why? Why is she so mean?
Because she doesn't like anybody. She hardly ever goes outside the house, not even to get groceries. She has everything delivered. She lives in that big old house all by herself.
I think it's haunted because she hasn't paid to the house in 20 years. It looks like it's about to fall apart, and she keeps the curtains closed all the time. It's so creepy.
Gee, it sure sounds scary, but I have to do it anyway. Come on, Jason and Maria, get up on my back and let's go over to Mrs. Murphy's house.
Off they went to Mrs. Murphy's house. The house was so old, the stairs creaked. As they walked to the front door,
It's scary here. We can still leave.
No, I'm ready to face Mrs. Murphy.
The big door opened slowly. There stood Mrs. Murphy. She wore a painting smock that had splashes of paint all over it. She was rather small and bent over, and in one hand she held a paintbrush. In the other, a cane.
What do you want? Why are you bothering me? I don't like visitors.
Mrs. Murphy, I am the one who...
The one who broke my window.
He didn't mean to.
That's right, Mrs. Murphy. It was an accident.
Which one of you did it?
Well, you see...
It was me. I am the one who broke your window.
So you're the one, huh? What's your name?
Bruno, ma'am.
What are you, some kind of overgrown lizard?
I'm a Brachiosaurus.
Gesundheit.
I didn't sneeze, ma'am. I'm a Brachiosaurus, you know. A dinosaur.
Well, I don't care if you're the man on the moon. You broke my window. Now what am I going to do?
Is there anything I can do to help?
What can a big overgrown lizard like you do anyway? I bet you don't even have a job.
No, ma'am. I might be getting my own paper route once I can find a bike big enough for me to sit on.
No job means you got no money. I don't know what I'm going to do. My arthritis hurts me so much sometimes I can't get around at all. Never mind. Never mind. I suppose the reason you really came here was to get your ball back. There it is, over in the corner. Take it. Take it. Let me be.
Mrs. Murphy, that paintbrush you have, are you an artist?
I do what I can. You sure are a nosy little kid. Why don't you use your head a little bit and figure out a way you can repay me? Get out of my sight, all of you.
Mrs. Murphy slammed the door in their faces. Bruno and the children didn't know how they were going to pay for the broken window. They looked around them, and then Jason came up with an idea.
I know what we can do. We can paint Mrs. Murphy's old house for her. It sure needs it.
That's a great idea. We can use all that paint in her shed. Come on, let's start right now.
The children gathered up all the paint and supplies they needed. They made use of Bruno's size, and he became their own scaffold or workstation. Jason would strap himself onto Bruno's head to be raised up so he could reach the top floors. Even Bruno got in on the painting. Maria tied a huge roller brush onto his tail, and Bruno was able to paint the roof faster than anyone. The children finished painting the entire house in no time. They were so proud of the job they had done.
It looks terrific. You wouldn't know it's the same house.
Yeah, but will that old grouch think so? Maybe she won't like it.
We won't know unless we ask her. Bruno, why don't you get her?
Okay, but stand back. She might yell or throw something at us.
Oh, it's you again, the overgrown lizard-lipped dino brain. Prehistoric pain in the neck. I thought I told you to take you, your scaly tail, and your two bratty friends off my property.
With all due respect, Mrs. Mrs. Murphy, we want to show you that we found a way to repay you for the broken window.
What did you do? Get a job at the Pizza Palace delivering pizza? Or did you breathe on someone until they paid you to stop? Did you? Tell me what you did, Brachiosaurus breath.
Come out here and see for yourself, Mrs. Murphy.
I don't know what you did, but I know I'm not gonna like it.
Mrs. Murphy stepped outside and took in the beautiful sight of her freshly painted house. She was truly shocked. She hadn't seen her house look this good in 20 years. What was even more shocking was that Mrs. Murphy actually cracked a smile. Another thing she hadn't done in 20 years.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Mean Mrs. Murphy smiles. Neighbors are shocked. Extra, extra.
So there you have it. Jason and Maria went on to study paleontology. And Bruno started Bruno's Brush in a Rush, the fastest paint job in the world. Mrs. Murphy denies ever smiling, but she does get out of the house now. She's in business too.
Move it, you overgrown lizard. We guarantee a house painted in 2 hours. You have 30 minutes to finish. Get the lead out of that 50-foot tail. I thought dinosaurs could move faster than that.
For the third time today, I am a Brachiosaurus.
Brachiosaurus, Smachiosaurus. You're all the same to me.
I don't know why, but I really love working with you. Is that a smile I see?
Get back to work. I'm just airing my teeth.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Dinosaur and little old lady really paint the town. Extra, extra.
Moonlight magic. My teacher told us that Columbus discovered America. I can't understand that. It was already there, and people were already living there. So how did he discover it if it was already there? A lot of things puzzle me. For instance, about dinosaurs. How did they disappear? I'm sorry they did, because I really like dinosaurs. Some people think they look ugly. Not me. I think they are really great looking. When I was a little kid, my mom got me a book about dinosaurs. I loved that book. I looked at it all the time. I told my mom I wanted a dinosaur for a pet. She just laughed. She said I would be better off with a dog or a cat. But I didn't want a dog or a cat. I wanted a dinosaur. My dad said it would be too big for our house, and he thought that the neighbors wouldn't like it. I didn't care about the neighbors. I just wanted a dinosaur. Of course, when I got older, I realized that there weren't any dinosaurs. I felt very sad when I realized that I couldn't have a dinosaur for a pet. But in a way, I did have one. We live right near a big museum of natural history. I love that museum. Every time I go in it, I see something new. They have a big dugout canoe that the Indians used to row. There are a lot of stuffed animals. But the best thing of all is the dinosaur skeleton. It's tremendous. I think it's as big as my apartment house. That's about 10 stories high. They used to say it was a Brachiosaurus, but then one day they changed the name to a Pentaceratops. I still call him Brachie because we're both used to that name. When I look at him, I try to imagine how he looked when he was alive. I can see the whole thing in my mind. Well, you probably won't believe what happened one day. I can hardly believe it myself. I don't tell many people about this because they would probably laugh at me. I got locked in the museum at night. It was really pretty dumb. I was so tired that day because I had stayed up late that night reading a very good book. This story was about a boy who was marooned on an ice floe. It was so exciting I couldn't go to sleep until I finished the book. Pretty soon after that, I had to get up to go to school. So I was real sleepy when I went to the museum that afternoon. I said hello to Brachie in the front hall. Then I wandered off to a special place where they had kept all the Indian stuff. I could feel my eyes closing, so I just sort of cuddled up in a corner and fell asleep. I slept and slept and slept. I guess nobody saw me because when I woke up, all the lights were out. It was as quiet as could be. It was pretty dark and creepy, but I wasn't the least bit scared. That is, until I heard the noises. What could it be? The museum was closed, so it couldn't be kids making animal noises. I crept as quietly as I could towards the front hall. You could never guess what I saw. There was old Brachie himself, come to life. No longer a skeleton, but a real live dinosaur. He was awesome. His head was way high in the air, but he looked down at me and he actually smiled. I mean, a real big smile. I could see all his flat, plant-eating teeth. "Hello, Mr. Brachie," I said, trembling just a little. "It's real nice to meet you in the flesh." Now, nobody's going to believe this part because we all know that real dinosaurs can't talk. Or can we be sure? After all, nobody really knows. It doesn't matter because this dinosaur could talk. "Hi, Noah," he said to me. Can you imagine? He even knew my name. "What are you doing here this time of night? The museum is closed." I wanted to ask him a million questions, but I was so surprised when he talked, I was breathless. But I finally got my breath and I told him about how I had fallen asleep. Then I started asking him questions so fast that pretty soon I was out of breath again. "It's like this," Brachie explained to me. "Whenever there's a full moon, at midnight, all the animals in the museum come to life for an hour. They're all gathering here in a little while. This is the only place that's big enough for us dinosaurs. And sure enough, in the distance, I could hear roars and growls and bird noises." "Do the lions and tigers and all the wild ones come here too?" I asked. "Of course," said Brachie. "They all like a good party." At that point, I decided to get out of there. I didn't know if those jungle animals would be as nice to me as Brachie was. "My mom and dad are gonna worry about me," I said. "Can you help me get out of here?" Brachie told me to close my eyes and just think about home. And can you believe it? When I opened my eyes, there I was, in my very own bed, in my very own bedroom. I bet you think it was all a dream, but I know it wasn't. When I went to the museum yesterday, the big Brachie skeleton nodded its head and waved at me with its front leg. Now you know an ordinary skeleton couldn't do that. Tell you what I'm gonna do, but you mustn't tell anyone. Next month, when the moon is full, I'm going to hide in the museum at night. I never got the answers to all the questions I asked Brachie.